I also read somewhere that you don't have to say if it's true or not, but I would love it if you did. Is there a Toy Story 5?
Oh, hey.
Did you hear that? Because I love the movies.
They have reached out to Tom and I to reprise the roles. They're not saying anything about it. What it is for people like me, it's just like I'm a sci-fi buff. And you wonder if 4 was too many, is 5 going to be too much?
No.
And according to the scuttlebutt, the writer that's doing it wrote one of the better ones. And he said, if I didn't get this right, I wouldn't do it. So it could be a very, very interesting way to reunite it.
I would love to see it. I'd love it.
What's on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Courting. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. It's Monday. There's a couple inches of snow outside by me. This last weekend, I got back into my old hobby of remote control cars. Some of you have found that channel. There I just kind of open them and I'll shoot videos running them, doing vlogs and stuff like that. So I hope that I'll leave it linked in the pinned comment down below if you're interested in that kind of thing. I actually had, this is maybe the third channel I ever created. You could see it was 8 years ago, basically, the last time I uploaded anything, almost 9 years ago. And suddenly, I've uploaded 3 videos in the last week. So if you want to check those out, it's youtube.com/@RCNightmare. I'll leave a link in the description. No big deal. You're not going to find any politics there. It's just chill and wholesome type videos featuring my dogs and vlogs and things like that. Now, Tim Allen, poised to return to Toy Story franchise after Disney Pixar's Lightyear lost over $100 million. If you remember, well, like I do, many of us do, Disney thought, hey, let's get rid of Tim Allen because he's a conservative, and we'll bring in an uber leftist liberal, Chris Evans, to replace him. Now, the technicality is Tim Allen voiced Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story, okay? The action figure, the toy is who he voiced. The movie Lightyear was actually the character Buzz Lightyear. So 2 different individuals. So that was the Weasley way that Disney said, oh, okay, well, it's not the same guy. But the real reason is Tim Allen is a more conservative guy nowadays. I wouldn't say he's like out there beating the Rush Limbaugh drum, being, super preachy about, conservatism, things like that. He just happens to be. And you know what? A lot of people end up that way, especially when they have millions of dollars in the bank. They're kind of worried about paying taxes, 50% tax rates. More people in Hollywood than secretly vote Republican. These people have 10, 15, 20 million dollars coming in for projects. They would be crazy if they didn't care about how they were getting taxed. Well, they released Lightyear, which the only thing anyone can remember is that it was the first ever on-screen kiss between 2 women in a Disney movie for children, and it was stunning and brave. Well, that movie lost more than $100 million, and it turns out that Disney has come crawling back to Tim Allen and have completely admitted in the second article I'm going to share with you that ESG has put them, their commitment to woke ideology has actually put them in a massive legal conundrum. Tim Allen just spilled the tea, or rather the toy box, about a 5th installment to the beloved Toy Story film series per The Wrap. On Tuesday's night episode of The Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon asked if there were rumors of a Toy Story 5, if they were true, which he replied that Disney CEO Bob Iger himself said it was on. They had reached out to Tom Hanks and I to reprise the roles. He shared, they're not saying anything about it. Well, the first Toy Story film debuted in 1995. The most recent film, Toy Story 4, hit theaters in 2019, which, if I remember correct, featured Bo Peep as an unstoppable Mary Sue, but that's neither here nor there. That's everything that comes out of Disney. Again, it's a movie about toys. I get it, but it was just a little on the nose that that Bo Peep was so OP, and everyone else, of course, is stupid and idiotic, like Woody. That's how men are portrayed in Disney movies these days. This is why I understand why parents don't want to bring their kids to this stuff. You wonder if 4 films was too many. Is 5 going to be too much? He pondered. However, he noted the writers who are doing it wrote one of the better ones. So Tim Allen, low-key disses on live TV, disses previous Toy Story films. I suspect he's referencing Lightyear as being, quote, one of the bad ones. And he said, if he didn't get it right, I wouldn't do it, Allen recalled. So it could be a very interesting way to reunite it. According to Entertainment Weekly, Iger announced plans not only for a desperate Toy Story sequel, but also sequels to Frozen and Zootopia during a quarterly earnings call in February, deeming it a, quote, great example of how we're leaning into our unrivaled brands and franchises. Well, look, the reality is everything else they've put out has been a complete disaster. This past weekend, they put out Wish, which absolutely tanked. It absolutely tanked in every conceivable way. And these new franchises that they're putting out, losing money. Everything Lucasfilms puts out loses money. Everything Pixar puts out loses money. Except for some reason, was it Elemental that made some strange, weird, long comeback over time? But most of the things that they're putting out now, The Haunted Mansion lost money. Lightyear lost money. Everything they put out loses $100 million. The Marvels is going to lose $200 million. So then he wrote, Allen told Extra that the film had, quote, nothing to do with his buzz and claimed a whole new team. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Lightyear director Angus. Oh, sorry, I skipped this. While Allen's Buzz Lightyear is a Pixar staple, the iconic character was voiced by Chris Evans in a Toy Story prequel outlining the Ranger's origin story. Lightyear, which launched into theaters in June 2022, made just north of $50 million this opening weekend, primed to be on the way to losing over $100 million for the studio. Lightyear director Angus MacLean justified the choice to Vanity Fair, explaining that Evans had the gravitas and movie star quality that our character needed to separate him from Tim's version of the toy in the Toy Story. So a direct shot, an insult to Tim Allen. Allen told Extra that the film had nothing to do with his buzz and claimed a whole new team that really had nothing to do with the first movies was behind it. And as Hanks and there's really no Toy Story buzz without Woody, he highlighted. Tom Hanks, whose film Elvis hits theaters a week after Lightyear, told Cinema Blend that he actually wanted to go ahead with Tim Allen, and they didn't let Tim do it. I don't understand that, he added. So you had Tom Hanks, siding with Tim Allen over that. So now they've come crawling back. You see, that was quite funny when they lost so much money. I laughed for a week, well deserved. Again, how wonderful to see Disney's woke tail tucked underneath itself. Most everyone knows exactly what this means. And then you have this. Just in, Disney is now quietly admitting that their ESG activism has hurt the company and cost shareholders, putting on full display again how ESG prioritization clearly violates its fiduciary duty. When you hear the terminology fiduciary duty, that means when you're a publicly traded company, you have a legal obligation to maximize profits for your investors. What does ESG do? Not that. We can look at the last 10 movies that have come out from Disney, Marvel, and Pixar and tell you that while these films are full of woke propaganda, they are absolutely box office poison. So now you're looking at a possibility that they are going to get sued over it. You see, this year marks the 300th anniversary of Adam Smith, the iconic figure behind the theory of free markets, or what we have come to call capitalism. In recent filings, Disney appears to acknowledge that Smith's, quote, invisible hand, in June of 1723, Adam Smith wanted to explain how the invisible hand of the market worked as people exercised their choices between certain products. It can shape economies and challenge entire governments. One company in particular appears to be learning that lesson. In recent filings, Disney appears to acknowledge that Smith's invisible hand is giving the House of the Mouse the middle finger. In a new corporate disclosure, Disney acknowledges that its controversial political and social agenda is costing the company and its shareholders, which, in my opinion, I'm not a lawyer, but could definitely open them up to class action lawsuits. This on top of the hostile takeover that's going on between these activist investors. People are getting pissed. In its annual SEC report, Disney acknowledges that, quote, we face risks relating to misalignment with public and consumer tastes and preferences for entertainment, travel, and consumer products. In an implied nod to Adam Smith, the company observes that the success of our business depends on our ability to consistently create compelling content, and that generally our revenues and profitability are adversely impacted when our entertainment offerings and products, as well as our methods to make those offerings and products available to consumers, do not achieve sufficient consumer acceptance. They're basically saying, like, people have rejected our product. Further, consumers' perception of our position on matters of public interest, including our efforts to achieve certain of our environmental and social goals, often differ widely and present risks to our reputation and brands. So they admit it. Disney and other companies have previously ignored consumer backlash over corporate campaigns, such as Disney's opposition to Florida's parental rights and education law. Corporate officials once avoided political controversies and focused on selling their products and services rather than their viewpoints. Yeah, that's how I built the entirety of Coffee Brand Coffee, by the way. By the way, today is our Cyber Monday sale. You probably got an email about it, but up to 50% off items. This is a lot of our flavors. This is the last chance you get to get them. Blackberry and cream, 50% off. Salted caramel, sticky pecan roll, peaches and cream, orange creamsicle, hazelnut churro. These are going to be the last chance to get a lot of these flavors as we pare down for the end of the year going into spring. So go and stock up at amazing, some huge discounts. Plus, a lot of our snacks are on sale. Make sure you check that out. Disney has reportedly lost $1 billion just on 4 of its recent woke movie flop productions, denounced by critics pushing political agendas or storylines. Yet until now, the company has continued to roll out underperforming movies as revenue dropped. What's more, Disney stars persist in bad-mouthing its fabled storylines and undermining its new productions. The company admits that it has suffered a continued slide in impressions, that is viewership, by 14%. For shareholders, it may seem counterintuitive for corporate executives trading profits for political and social agendas. However, it does serve as rationale for individual corporate executives who are professionally advanced when they champion such causes, meaning these people that get woke, they get put in charge of these companies. For example, Alyssa Heinerscheid, vice president of marketing for Bud Light, pledged to drop Bud Light's fratty reputation and embrace inclusivity. She was heralded by colleagues, even though her move went on to tank the brand as a whole. Indeed, Bud Light has still not recovered from the loss of billions in profits, market share, and overall market value. The same trend is playing out in the media. Public trust in journalists have fallen to a record low, yet media executives continue to push advocacy journalism, abandoning objectivity. As former New York Times writer Nicole Hannah-Jones declared, all journalism is activism. The same is true in academia, and there's all sorts of stuff like that. So can you have a balance between activism and, selling a product? Probably, maybe just how you donate money behind the scenes. But they got a little too high on the hog getting all that praise on Twitter, and then they realized that Twitter isn't real life and that these people were not coming to their movies. And after losing billions of dollars on woke projects, they have finally admitted to investors that getting woke has indeed caused them to go broke. I hope you'll check out Coffee Brand Coffee's Cyber Monday sale. And if you're interested, check out my RC channel, which is not anything I'm trying to grow to be some sort of massive thing, but it's just wholesome, fun content. And I hope you'll enjoy that. We'll talk to you again real soon.